Alright, back with literally the worst food you could ever string and eat at the same time. Nachos. Crunchy nachos. I took longer than I thought, I'm sorry. Oh, we're doing D2. Great, because I don't remember I don't remember this case. Rip me. Boy. There. Why is it Sam playing ukulele? Phoenix Wright, he's what? Okay, so apparently we're on day 2. And I'm not gonna remember any of the people's voices or anything. We're going into court? Seriously? I don't remember this. Okay. I'll tell you what I remember from this case off the top of my head. I know this case goes completely off the rails and gets nuts. So there's a murder in a parking garage, and they've blamed it on something Sky. I can't remember her last name. Lana Sky? I think it's Lana Sky? She's like a prosecutor or something. And her sister Emma Sky is training to be a forensic crime scene investigator, and she's trying to help you clear her sister's name. And there's a lunch lady who saw the murder, and then there's a Western guy who was a part of a case from a long time ago. And he shaves while he talks to you. It's something like that. I don't know. That's the recap. The recap, aka I don't remember what's happening. Nor will I remember any voices, as I have previously stated. I do not know Lana Sky's voice. How did the investigation go yesterday, Mr. Wright? Frankly, there's still a lot of gray areas. But rather, the whole thing is one big gray area. Don't worry about me, no matter what the outcome. I'm ready to accept my fate. I believe in you, sis. Mr. Wright, let me offer you a word of advice. Yes? A defense attorney should never believe their client. A defendant is called to trial because they are suspected of wrongdoing. Never forget that. Miss Sky, you remind me a lot of Mia. But there's one decisive difference between you and her. And that is, you're not a defense attorney. I believe it's almost time for the trial. Good luck, Mr. Wright. My first trial without a Fae helping me. No one's gonna bail me out this time. Phoenix. I'll be alone in there. So I have to discover the truth all by myself. Let's do it, Mr. Wright! I'll be with you the whole way! Oh, I forgot. Phoenix Wright always has an underage girl helping him. No matter what, it's my superpower. Thank goodness I live in Japan, am I right? February 23rd, 10 a.m., District Courtroom number 9. Oh boy. Like I said before you got here, I chose probably the worst food ever to stream with, which is like crunchy nachos. I think Emma Sky is like 16 or 17. I don't know. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. Edgeworth. It's been 2 months, but I haven't been in the courtroom since this trial. I hope that personal feelings will not be part of the proceedings today, Mr. Wright. I will choose the path I think is right, regardless of what those around me might say. The judgment to be made here is in our hands, not those of anyone else. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. Your opening statement, please. Chief Prosecutor Lana Sky has committed an unpardonable crime. Not only this, but she was rash enough to commit it in the prosecutor's office lot. Wow, he's so much more forceful in person. I suddenly feel like confessing to everything. However, she will now pay for her rashness with her life. There was a witness to her crime. The professional witness. Well then, call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution calls its first witness, Miss Angel Star, to the stand. That's the lunch lady. The cough-up queen. I don't remember why she's named that, but yeah. Haven't I seen you somewhere?
You ordered the caviar lunch, right?
No, caviar. I've never eaten caviar before.
The judge is really wolfing it down. And for you, I have a fiesta. Thanks.
Will the witness state her name and profession?
You, sir. Did you order the fingerprint lunchbox?
It is too early for lunch. Your name and profession, please.
Well, Your Honor, how does it taste?
So this is why everyone raves about caviar. It's so tasty, it hurts. I've always thought caviar would taste like pickled tapioca.
What the heck does pickled tapioca taste like?
Name. Sorry, I did the judge's voice. Name, profession, now.
Me? The name is Angel Star. Don't go forgetting it. I find myself running Lunchland these days. Is that what you wanted me to say, Mr. Edgeworth?
I feel like I need a voice for her, but like I'm just kind of generically running through it. Valley Girl or something. I don't know. Can I send you like a piano version of this song or something? Yeah, she has like a rice bowl head. Okay. Very well, witness. Please describe the incident to us. Remember an old man voice? Sorry, I just gotta get some food. The prosecution will wait. I'm not finished eating.
Hurry up!
Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. As you know, we usually call the police to provide a description of the crime. Your Honor, as Mr. Edgeworth has said to the court, I am a professional. What exactly does that mean? Until 2 years ago, Miss Angel Star was a special investigator with the police. She was a first-rate homicide detective.
What? Miss Star was a detective?
I know who you are. Cough up.
Cough-up Queen Angel Star, Your Honor. Long time no see.
Very well. You may continue with the description, Miss Star.
Just who is this lady? I might have the court's attention over here. I'm gonna do like a testimony. The parking lot at the prosecutor's office is divided into 2 blocks. Food time for me. A block is for the prosecutor's office personnel. The B block is for visitors and clients. A chain divider separates the two blocks.
And I suppose that's to keep the visitors taking up the prosecutor's space is correct.
The crime took place.
She doesn't even answer him.
The crime took place by a car in the back of A block in the car's trunk. The killer stabbed the victim with his knife and then went to drive the body out. I wasn't even standing there because I didn't say where I was standing. I just randomly know this.
I mean, they'll get to that, but it's like, if you were telling people that, you'd be like, I was standing here when it happened. So I could see it, right?
Unfortunately for her, there was a witness and an arrest was made on the spot.
And who was this valiant witness?
Why, it was me, Your Honor.
Parking lot floor plans. A parking lot with Edward's car. Added to the court record. Witness, did you see the very moment of the crime?
Of course, Your Honor. Immediately after that, I apprehended the chief prosecutor.
Seems rather cut and dry, doesn't it? Well, Mr. Wright.
I can't agree on principle, Your Honor. It seems that some poor losers are unwilling to accept the truth, Your Honor. Shall I proceed to crush what little hope they have remaining?
And if you can, then give them your worst, Miss Starr.
Wait, are they talking about me?
Witness testimony. Dun, 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 dun. There we go.
Somehow I always knew a day like this would come. I was on my way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend when I sensed something like perhaps it was my finally home detective intuition at work. Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to a garish car. The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. She thrust the pointy tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest.
Yes, he was a good man, wasn't he?
No, that was his name.
Oh, right. Bringing a lunchbox to your boyfriend. How touching.
As you can see, there's no room for doubt.
The key point of your testimony seems to be nothing other than the point of a knife which you saw being stabbed into Detective Goodman.
So how does it feel to be, like, so utterly crushed or whatever? I'm still thinking about that. It's merely a flesh wound, Mr. White. Wow. It's merely a flesh wound, Mr. Wright.
Monty Python and the Holy Grail reference, why not?
'Tis a flesh wound.
Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness.
Alright. Talk it to me.
Have we actually met the murderer yet? I can't remember if we did or didn't. Honestly, because it's been so long, I really can't remember. Give me them chips. Give me them chips. She said, like, always knew this day would come.
How did you know? I respect the prosecutor's basic importance of crime, yet their methods are ugly and twisted. Twisted methods will always lead to tragedy.
The lunch lady's uninformed opinion is duly noted.
Uninformed. Given that they are used to erasing inconvenient evidence at their whim, killing off a detective that knew too much is merely an extension.
She is going ham on the prosecutor's office as an ex-worker of them. Dang, son. You have something personal against prosecutors? And I felt that I have found, like, my dream job when I became an investigator. And if I hadn't been laid off by those prosecutors over there, I'd still be one. Laid off? She was fired. To me, prosecutors are nothing more than lawyers. That said, I'm a pro, as you know. My testimony is unbiased and flawless. Very well, you may continue, Miss Starr. That's something that somebody who's telling the truth would say. Okay, sorry. Try to eat as fast as I can. Didn't have to wait too long. I was on my way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend. Bam! This boyfriend? He's the detective? Not that boyfriend, the security guy. That boyfriend? You have several? Yes, this boyfriend, that boyfriend, the other boyfriend. Care to join? That yet another boyfriend position is still open for applicants. Hey, I'm sticking with the lunches, thanks. That's a self. The judge had to think before replying. Security guardman is in the lot in A block. It's up on the second level, so you can see everything from there. That would be the room with security sign. Incidentally, did you bring your lunchboxes by car? Since I'm a visitor now, I parked in the B block. But her and her boyfriends are all in it together. So she was in B block when she witnessed the crime. I said something, perhaps it was my finely honed detective intuition at work. You said something? So you're saying you had premonition of the murder? It felt like... how would you say... oh yeah, like, it was like the feeling you get when you do a pumpkin chock full of seeds. I have no idea what that means. Speaking of a detective's intuition, wasn't the victim Bruce Goodman also a detective? Yes, he was like a young cheese. Young cheese. A pale white cheese, not yet tangy with experience on the streets, and a green hog. That must be hard, yellow, and sharp as a tack. Yeah, with the odor of the old cheese to match. In any case, there in the lot, I felt something stirring in the back of my mind. The wire fence saw a prosecutor standing next to a garish car. A garish car? You mean... Mr. Edgeworth's car, yes. Mr. Edgeworth's. Incidentally, the knife that was used to stab... Incidentally, the knife with which the victim was stabbed was also Mr. Edgeworth's knife. I don't actually know why he has this. It's for stabbing! Wasn't it? Indeed it was. What an odd case this is. And the person you saw, you are sure it was the defendant? I saw her from no further than like 30 feet away. I'm certain it was her. If she's telling the truth, we're doomed. Let's just do what we can. Even if we don't have any proof, we can always nitpick. Witness. In your testimony, you clearly stated... Wow, I'm sorry, I'm blending their voices. Witness. In your testimony, you clearly stated the following. Prosecutors are nothing more than words. Ergo, you are a biased witness. You might want to keep those sleeping to yourself in the future, Rookie. Huh? Rookie? Unless you're willing to, risk the consequences of doubting me? I'll fry you like a fritter, crispy on the outside, chewy on the inside. That was inspiring. I believe I've heard that tagline somewhere. You could cry plagiarism? I don't know what they're talking about. It's probably a reference to something. I may be relegated to the lowly post of lunch lady, but my instincts are honed. a photograph. You took this?
The moment I witnessed the crime, my reflexes took over and snap, I took a picture. Oh, snap. In fact, one of my lunchboxes is rigged with a camera. I suppose that's more exciting than just hanging it around your neck.
Witness, why am I only seeing this photograph just now?
You think I'd show it to you like a prosecutor? Think again. My boyfriend works in the photography division of criminal affairs.
Well, this is most certainly the defendant. Edgeworth, is that your car? Maybe. I cannot confirm nor deny the allegations.
Uh-oh. That is unmistakably Lana Sky.
So what was the defendant doing at the time?
Holding a knife in her right hand. But she wasn't right-handed or left-handed. She was unambidextrous. She doesn't know how to use her hands. Objection. Oops, I made it pass out. Tell me more about the knife that the suspect is carrying. Well, like I'd say the blade was like 4 inches long. Is that right, Mr. Edgeworth? Is your knife up, bro?
Yes, we need to get to at least 4 inches for it to be a good stabber. Yes, that's correct.
Prosecutors are, like, by nature well-versed in the location of a man's vital organs. I'm sure it was easier than boiling an egg for my egg salad surprise set. You can't testify about her ability to kill an egg, I mean a person. Huh? Perhaps, like, chicken salad would have been a better metaphor?
So the defendant was holding a knife, what then?
Then she thrust the pointy tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest. Tell the court why you didn't try to stop this crime. You did see her raise the knife to strike, no?
The defense has a point.
Unfortunately, by the time I realized what was going on, it was already too late, but I was still able to take a picture, because, like, haha, reasons? Too late. Yes. The next moment, the chief prosecutor brought down the murder weapon. I see. It's only a flesh wound, Mr. White. We can make it. Mr. Wright, we can make it. You said that before. Anything else? Scientifically speaking, Miss Starr's testimony is flawless. This sounds pretty fable to me. What do we do? Is this it? Is my sister guilty? Let's just keep our heads cool and press the witness a bit, shall we? For some reason, having her panicking next to me makes me calmer. Don't smile like that. Okay, well, I pressed her on, like, everything, so... Said something, finding detective skills, wire fence, saw, garish car, Wesker's holding a knife in the right hand. He said press more, but I already pressed, so... One of these options might be something that wasn't originally there, and then I have to, like, comment on it or whatever with some evidence. Present the evidence. But I need to look at my evidence! Objection. I'm an attorney. Man, if I had my suit, I could be wearing my suit for this. Can you imagine that? That'd be great. Sorry, snack break.
award ceremony going on that day. I don't think that matters too much. It's not yet. Oh, did you miss anything? She gave her testimony and said that she saw Lana's guy stabbing Detective Goodman. Said stuff about boyfriends, and I pressed her on everything, and now I'm trying to figure out what I need to do. Can we like match prints with her hand? Can we see if she used her left hand or her right hand? No prints. There's parking stub. I'm sure the time on this stub will come in handy at some point. Friggin' nachos being all messy. Oh yeah, the blue badger. That's some good stuff right there. Hour and a half of 4 p.m. The first car entered at 5. Ran in an hour and a half 4 p.m. Stuffed into his car. He was already dead. And then Edgeworth drove in, and then they stuffed the body in the car? That's crazy. Memo found in the trunk, 675-12. If you flip it over, it says 221 2L9. That might happen. Last call made to your sister at 5:18 on the day. The moment of the crime. Let's see a knife. Bruce Goodman, 36. Time of death, 4 and 30. Blood from a chest wound, 1.5-inch knife, single stab wound. This must be the victim's blood, right? Either that or Edward cut himself peeling an apple. What's Edward doing with a knife like this anyway? Hey, maybe he spends his weekends roughing it in the wild. Edward, in the wild? I think my fruit peeling theory is more likely. I always pictured him as an outdoorsman. Oh, there's a scary thought. What? Why is that blurred? It says Sergeant Bruce Goodman ID and then there's a bunch of numbers. Yeah, why don't they just show me that? What? Blah blah blah, blah blah blah. This is not helping me at all. I don't know what to do. The chest, that's what they said. Press the pointy tip of the knife into the chest. Yep. One stab. One stab, man. fence. Through the wire fence. Yeah, so she's in the B block. Yep. Okay. I honestly don't know what to do. Wait. Through the wire fence? Oh, there is wires in this photo. I thought there was no wires. Rip my theory. Yep, so she's in the B block. Help. Oh, also, I'm lagging like crazy. This should not be happening. I'm getting dunked on. I don't know what the heck to do. Hey, check it out, there's a metal plate here. It looks like the names of all the previous recipients engraved on it. Wow, one guy's listed a bunch of times. Von Karma. I guess he must be a foreigner? Yeah, that's probably it. Well, wherever he's from, he must have been an amazing prosecutor. I'd like to meet Mr. Von Karma sometime. When she says it, his name does kind of have a ring to it. He's probably been executed for a crazy murder. Did I press this one? Oh yeah, you didn't try. Why didn't you try to stop the crime? The only thing I can think of is... The only thing I can think of, which I mentioned earlier, is she doesn't have the knife in this picture, so it's like, where's the knife? You say she has a knife, but there's no knife. Is that it? Objection! Guess so. Yeah, I did go through, basically, I think everything that was relevant. It seemed to be it, because the music stopped, an objection happened, or whatever. I mean, it always does, but yeah. And you witnessed this? You saw this guy stab the victim with a knife? The party stated yes. I swear on my finest salmon swirl lunch. That sure is a fine lunch. Why does she have blood on her coat, though? It's a great point. But isn't that odd? Look at this photograph. This is the photograph that you took the very moment of the crime, is it not? Then why is Miss Sky not holding a knife? Because she just loaded the body into the trunk. This is why I wouldn't have gone down this line of reasoning, because she could have put it away in her pocket or anything. She also doesn't have gloves on, and there's no prints on the knife. I don't know, it's like, that's not a very clear contradiction. That was like the only thing I could think of. Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts? No objection.
That has to be the weakest objection ever, Mr. Edgeworth.
Yet it was still stronger than your ever-feeble mind, Mr. Wright.
What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
This photograph was not taken the moment before the stabbing. This was taken the moment after the stabbing.
And how can you tell?
She has blood on her coat. Phoenix. Phoenix, please. It's spatter, not splatter. There's no L. Sorry.
Blood splatter. Huh? See the dark crimson stains on the chief prosecutor's coat? But it's black and white in this photograph.
Ah, yes, it's hard to tell, but this could be blood.
Well, Mr. Wright, I see no problem here. No problem except for you.
Mr. Wright, are you going to sit there and take that kind of abuse? Alright, you got a better idea? It could be Kool-Aid!
I don't... Objection? Objection?
Wait, that contradicts what the witness said in her testimony. Namely, that she took the picture the moment she...
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay.
The moment she witnessed the crime.
I don't think she meant literally the second the knife started stabbing the person who took the photo, like she knew it was gonna happen.
Well, it seems like it was slightly unclear. My apologies.
Ran out of... Jeez.
That's it.
You run out of lunch, you order a second. Problem solved. If you don't like it, try ordering the jumbo-sized lunch from the get-go. Good advice. I'm not sure I understood it, but good advice. Shut up, Emma. I don't think... What? Emma, please. I didn't have time to stop her. Prosecutor Kyle Sky was cold, calculating like a robot. And I don't like robots. She killed without pain or remorse. It was a premeditated murder. She was meditating about this murder, like, before it happened.
Premeditated? How do you know?
Look at the chief prosecutor's hand in that photograph.
Well, are those gloves?
Oh! Lol. I thought they were gloves. Oops.
Surgical gloves made of thin rubber, most likely. Why else would she have those on?
To hide a murder? I mean, any reason. Coronavirus.
If it was not premeditated, she would not be wearing those gloves.
Why? She always wears those gloves, I think.
I don't know. Maybe she always wears those gloves, dude. I don't know. Coronavirus.
These gloves do seem to tell a tale of premeditation.
Robot. I know. I did that on purpose. Premeditated murder. A serious offense. You never meditate about murder. Seriously. They will take you away for that.
Witness, add this to your testimony.
The murder was planned, and the rubber gloves prove that the murder was planned. What if she was just in the habit of wearing gloves? Like driving gloves?
The gloves were admitted as evidence when the defendant was arrested.
Then why do I have them?
They were rubber gloves of the kind used for autopsies.
In other words, when the chief prosecutor came to the crime scene, she came to do the murders. It was only possible conclusion one can make from that. Everything was planned. It was a premeditated crime. Hard, I guess.
Impressive. I'm sorry they took you off the force, Miss Starr.
This is bad.
She got them thinking that this is like all planned and stuff.
Oh no, I'm doing it too. Like, this is horrible.
If she can prove this claim, the trial's already over. I gotta think of a way to show that it wasn't premeditated. It's only a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. That's like the only thing I can think of saying.
You said that before.
Yeah, testimony's flawless, fatal, blah blah blah, all these things. Don't smile like that. Oops, dang it. So I need to go to the last week. That's the only thing I can talk about since it's new and stuff. Whatever's planned, the rubber gloves prove it! Oh yeah. The call, right? Where she's like, oh no, something bad happened. Does that contradict? What does it say about the autopsy? 4 and 3. Loss of blood from the chest wound. He didn't die from the wound itself, he bled out? Is that enough of a contradiction? Because if one stab wasn't enough, he wouldn't have left him to bleed out. He would have stabbed him again, right? Does that make sense? Let me save. I'll try that. No, that's not it. Oh, it's not related. Do you know who the murderer is? Can you turn the music down? I think the music's already on as low as it can go. Hold on. Without turning it off, it's... There's not much I can do about it. It's already on as low as it'll go. That didn't work, so should I just load, I guess? Wrong button. Wrong way to deliver lunchbox. Sense something. Wire fence I saw two prosecutors standing next to the garage car. She's just standing there? That's Mr. Edgeworth's car. Knife. Why am I so stuck? Maybe she found the body and didn't want to handle it without gloves on? No, I can't do that either, apparently. I don't know what to do! What proves that this wasn't planned? No print proves that it was planned, right?
Objection!
Why does this work? Wait, what? Are you trying to test me? I sell lunchboxes for a living now. That's a knife. The knife. The knife that was in Mr. Edgeworth's trunk. I don't understand. Why did this work?
Indeed, it is my knife. It's used for stabbing, and a stabbing it will do.
What's with this case? A bloody murder weapon, a red car, all belonging to the prosecutor there? The defendant is the chief prosecutor for the district, right? Mommy, your prosecutor's bad people? Yes, dear. The defense has a request. Wait, why was the blood like that? Maybe the blade's not the right size? I still don't know why this worked. I'm confused. We ask that the witness provide an accurate testimony. What's that, rookie? In your testimony, you stated that Lana Skye planned this murder. And that's why she was wearing those special gloves.
Seems like a natural conclusion to me. The gloves do indicate planning.
However, why would she not also prepare for the most important thing, the murder weapon? Oh. Wait, so he's saying the murder weapon still has blood on it. Why would it still have blood on it? She was prepared? Oh. This knife just happened to be in the trunk of that car. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to plan a murder, you don't forget the weapon! Okay, that's a fair point. I guess.
Order again. Where's my chicken bento?
Great, now the tide's turning in our favor. Great show, Mr. Wright. My sister's as good as free.
Right. I believe the next lunch you'll be eating is humble pie.
What?
I hope you aren't deluding yourself with thinking that the tide has turned. Not over such a trifling detail.
But this shoots a hole in the whole premeditated murder theory.
Bah! Humbug indeed. Humbug as well as bah, I say. The prosecution would care less if it was premeditated or not. The only one who seems to care is that lunch lady over there. The defendant, Lana Skye, murdered a detective with a knife. Yes. That is the only thing the prosecution need prove. Nothing else.
Very good, Mr. Prosecutor. I suppose you think you're clever now, huh? But you know as well as I do that she planned on killing him. It was planned. If it wasn't, why would she have been wearing...
I believe I'd like to hear your testimony again. Witness, please tell us that what you saw, not what you thought.
How dare you? My powers of deduction are not to be underestimated. Really now? For reals? Twinsies? Oh wait, sorry. I'm doing the Phoenix and her, and they get mixed together sometimes. Lana Skye intended to murder Detective Goodman. That's why she called the victim all the way to the prosecutor's office. I'm sure the chief prosecutor had a grudge against the victim. Nothing else could drive that human machine to plunge the knife in again and again. That's the contradiction right there. One stab, man!
Victim was summoned from the police department to the prosecutor's office. It does sound a lot like premeditation, doesn't it?
So, if I ordered a pizza, does that mean I'm planning to kill the delivery boy? Or kill the pizza? You're probably planning to kill the pan pizza. I don't know what I'm doing.
In any case, the defense may now cross-examine the witness.
Should I listen to the stuff she says or just go straight for it? We can get like the extra dialogue, or we can just go ahead and be like, nope, you're wrong. go straight for it. None of the flavor dialogue. Skip right past. Oops. Dang it. A human machine? That's a contradiction.
It's called an android, Mr. Wright, or a cyborg, or I don't know. Can you find the fault of something of substance, of something, whatever?
Note to self, Mr. Edgeworth's sighs smell like citrus fruit. You say again and again. How many times does she stab him exactly? We often like to say chop it into 1,000 pieces, but we don't actually mean 1,000 pieces. What's that difference does it make on the Adidas die? How come she's getting mad at me?
Must she stabbed him several times and leave it at that.
Leave it at that? This is a murder case. Mr. Wright, if you should speak up, if you have an objection, you know. Miss Stars turned out to be as short-tempered as she looked when we met her. Challenging her abilities as a detective really set her off. The short wick burns out the fastest. It's a scientific fact. I wonder, wouldn't it depend on the size of the candle? I mean, add more wax, and even a really short wick will burn longer. Obviously, more scientific testing is required.
I meant to just present evidence. Autopsy report?
Objection!
Autopsy.
You see, she stabbed him again and again. But you couldn't have witnessed that. Are you testing me? Then I'll test you. With my moss surprise,
I'm afraid the moss is growing under our feet as we wait, Miss Star.
What do you mean?
I shouldn't have to explain this, but take a look. The autopsy report states that the death was due to loss of blood from one stab wound.
Aha! You're right. Good show, Mr. Edgeworth.
what a hunk, he's my hero, really. What about my objection? No one noticed?
Well, witness.
You got the crime scene set, right?
I like how her different lunchboxes are always like related to what you're talking about. I don't know. I think it's cool.
Oh, thanks.
And I always believed that no one could ever mistake ketchup for blood, but now I realize that such mistakes are possible.
So, you're saying you mistook something for blood?
When she lifted her knife, I thought I saw blood at her breast. Splattered blood from her victim. That's why I thought she must have stabbed him at least twice.
Tell us what you saw that you thought was blood. Testify.
Her red muffler looked like blood to me. That's how ghastly the whole scene was. Okay? Her red muffler? Yes, like a scarf? The chief prosecutor always wears one around her neck. So she can be easily hanged at a moment's notice, I suppose. I read it correctly in my head like 3 times. She's right. Miss Sky was wearing a red scarf, wasn't she? But wait. Isn't it odd that you mistook that for splattered blood?
Well, people often mistake my beard for a bib.
A judge with a bib. That's why this place feels so much like kindergarten sometimes. Actually, I do think I saw some traces of blood on her chest.
However, the autopsy report is clear on this matter. There's only one knife wound.
Apparently, Miss Star isn't entirely sure of her own testimony. Mr. Wright, this is our chance. Chance for what, I wonder? Miss Stars turned out to be as short-tempered as she looked when we met her. Challenging her abilities, blah 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 blah. Already said all this stuff. But the scene wasn't. There was like no blood at the scene. The only blood we saw was on her.
So how do I show that the scene... There wasn't blood on the scene? Oh, see, that shows the scene perfectly. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's gotta be that, right? That, oops, literally just contradicts it. Miss Star, I demand an explanation.
The witness is clearly not suited for detective work.
What?
The suspect was not wearing a scarf or muffler of any kind when she stabbed the victim.
That's not even what I was pointing out.
And you proved it yourself. Look at this photograph. Sorry, I'm not good at singing.
That is also true. That's not what I meant to contradict you.
But only a professional lunch lady could be so utterly clueless. Congratulations. Perhaps you finally found your true calling in life.
Harsh words, but good.
In the end, Mr. Edgeworth prevails.
Was my objection chopped liver?
But there was a scarf. No, really. Something red? I don't know, whatever.
Well now, where were we? The witness has given us an entertaining interlude, but back to business.
What?
Very well, witness. Continue your testimony. You saw the crime and apprehended the suspect. Tell us about that.
Very well. I do remember some things accurately, at least. Like, a couple of things. Like, I was in a garage, I think, and, like, I sell lunches. Ultimately, we couldn't shake the most important part of her testimony. Most important part? Wait, didn't you think that? What? The part where your sister stabs the victim. This next testimony might just be the moment of truth. Apprehending the suspect. After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind the partition off to her side. I quickly caught her and explained her rights to her and arrested her on the spot. Ah yes, when I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused with my earlier testimony. The chief prosecutor made to escape, but with Angel Star, resistance is futile. Assimilate and all that, you know.
You are quite determined about the scarf, aren't you?
I strike like a snake and bite like a cobra. That's me, Angel Star. That wasn't a very good metaphor. First of all, a cobra is a kind of snake. Don't bother me with the details unless you want to get bitten. No thanks. Note to self, Mr. Wright is weak against poisonous snake bites. The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside and kicked over an oil drum. An oil drum? Hard to imagine since oil drums are like... fill that with like water or something? That thing weighs a lot. You could not just kick it over. You'd have to like really shove it. She's beautiful but deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman. Rah.
Very well, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination, if you will.
Bum. Ba-do-do-do-do-do-do. After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind the partition. Hold it! I don't know what the contradiction is. So where is this part? Oh, wait, I think I do. She was behind the chain link fence and that lady tried to run behind the partition. How did she run all the way around and catch her? I don't know how to present that via evidence, but yeah. So where is this partition on the floor plans? I'm sure she means this wall next to the car. That's right. There's a wall there, about 6 feet high. She was obviously trying to hide herself. Quite a natural thing for a criminal to do.
And what did you do then?
If you caught her and explained her rights to her. How did you do that? You say quickly. Were you close to the suspect? Just as I said. I was only 30 feet away from her the whole time. Yeah, but it's a fence between you. Maybe I should press her for more details? Yes, what the... Yes.
I'd like to see this on the floor plans just to be safe. The Lunchlim car was... She said a visitor, thus she was parked in the B block. So you witnessed the murder from here? That would make it about 30 feet from the...
That would make it about 30 feet from the car, yes.
Is that correct, Miss Starr? Yeah, that's right.
There is a chain link fence in front of you.
They went over it, of course.
Amazing. The Coffle Queen Lunch Lady, athlete indeed.
It would have taken her a little time to climb over the fence. So she couldn't have gotten to my sister that fast. Yeah, and that fence was about 9 feet high, too. So how did Miss Sky not get away? Ah, yes, when I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. But... I guess I'll keep pressing, but I feel like that was it. So what happened? She mentioned the muffler. What exactly did she say? If I remember exactly, I would have told you in my testimony. Cheeky. Anyway, all I heard her say was the word muffler.
Just that one word.
So what you heard wasn't a suspect talking to you, but someone else?
Yes, the chief prosecutor was talking on her phone. Her phone? She can't mean... Why wouldn't I ask further? Why wouldn't I ask further? By phone, do you mean the cell phone discovered at this crime scene? Yes, ultimately.
Ultimately,
My memory is like a salmon heading upstream, you see?
No, the court does not see this stuff.
The chief prosecutor first attempted to use the phone hanging on the wall.
On the wall.
That's right. That's right. Near the car, there's an emergency phone on the wall. Apparently, it was out of order.
And so she used her cell phone.
indeed, the emergency phone was out of order that day. Why wouldn't she just use her cell phone off the bat? Anyway.
Good witnessing, witness.
Good witnessing. Whatever happened to good testifying?
You should, of course, add this to your testimony.
The things I do to please this rookie defense attorney. So... Not all. She tried the phone on the wall, but had to use her cell instead. But like... Okay, I will press this. But I think the thing I was saying earlier is what it is, where it's like, there's an entire fence between you, how did she not get away from you, like what? Do you think you could restate your testimony for the court?
Ah, I was going to say the same thing.
Only this one time, so listen closely, rookie. Chief prosecutor stabbed the victim and ran behind the partition. She then picked up the emergency phone on the wall, but it was out of order. How do you know that? She pulled out her own cell phone out of her pocket. How do you know that? Can't see her yet. Now you can see her.
During that time, you climbed over the chain link fence.
And then I grabbed her arm boldly to go where no man has ever gone before. Or whatever that saying is when you boldly go or whatever. Chief prosecutor hung up her phone while it was falling to the ground somehow. And you saw her doing this. And what is it, Mr. Wright? Chief prosecutor made to escape. The resistance is futile. But you couldn't have seen it with this floor plan here.
Objection!
Miss Starr, I have to conclude that you have a personal grudge against Miss Lana Sky.
Objection!
The witness is a former detective. Her testimony is unmarred by personal bias.
I'm sorry, whose testimony have we been listening to? Not one that's unbiased, that's for sure. Well, who would have thought that you would be my knight in shining armor, prosecutor? You, who, together with the chief prosecutor, kicked me out 2 years ago. Well, Miss Starr, this is a fatal contradiction with your testimony. How do you explain this? I don't know what you're talking about. Mess with me, and I'll make you cough it all up. Ahem. Let's look at the floor plans. You said you witnessed the crime from this point. However, if that's true, you couldn't have possibly seen this guy making that phone call. I believe you see. Get it? That's a pun, because of the whole seeing thing. We get it, Mr. Wright. Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. That emergency phone on the backside of this partition. It's on the backside of the partition. I mean, so if you're in B block, you couldn't have seen it. That, yeah. Dun. I'll show you. Talk about stuff and be wrong about it.
Order. What is the meaning of this?
It's simple, Your Honor. She's not copying a blunt, she's copying up lies!
Yeah. That's quite a claim, Mr. Wright. Perhaps you will allow me a question. Tell us exactly what lie the witness has told the court.
Here's where the counterattack begins. I can't afford to get this wrong. I know, it's music. Music makes it so much better, I swear.
Order me some bento from this court. For the court. I don't know, whatever. Give me a lunchbox, lady.
The witness lied about what she saw, where she saw it, the order of events. I don't think it's the order. Maybe she saw the lady use the phone. Okay, alright, let me think about this. What she saw. Is she lying about what she saw? Maybe not. But she's lying about where she saw it? But maybe she wasn't on that side of the fence. That's worse for her, right? Because then there's a picture of her on the other side of the fence after it happened. I'm not... It's weird because these are kind of the same thing. But they're kind of different. Where she saw it, right? But she did see it in the parking garage. Dang it, game! I'm gonna save and try it. I think they're both good answers. I don't know. Miss Sky tried to use the emergency phone, but it was out of order. What's significant about this fact? Nothing. Therefore, it'd be pointless for Miss Star to lie about it.
Pointless to lie. I see.
Let's say the witness did actually see Miss Sky using the emergency phone. It would mean Miss Star witnessed the crime from a different location.
In a different location? Now that's a pointless lie if I ever heard one.
Before you call my lie pointless, at least let me tell it. What?
Let me ask a question about our clever wordsmith, Mr. Wright. Just where was the witness when she saw the crime?
All the testimony put up until now points to One Direction, the band. She was with One Direction. It looks like right around here or so. It's kind of hard to... Wait, what? She saw it from here, she could have stopped it. She said she couldn't stop it? Right, she said she couldn't stop it. She said, but I had enough time to take a picture when I was over here. But she wasn't over here if she was able to see all this stuff. over here. Let's see if she was. She was in the security room? Security room's on the second floor, right? It's like elevated, it's like above stuff, right? So she could see it, but she couldn't get... How did she get from the security room down to here to take the picture? Was this picture taken before? I'm not sure. I don't understand how that picture works between the chain link fence. I don't get it. But if she saw it... Because we don't know that the stabbing happened here, it's just kind of implied, but... Did she say she kicked over an oil drum right here? No oil drum over here. So wait, where did the scuffle happen? It's implied it happened next to Edgeworth's car, but why? Because the body is found there? Okay, I'm not really sure. I'm going over a bunch of stuff, but I don't think it's all completely clear. What I do know is, if she was anywhere in the parking garage when this happened, she was 1, able to see it, 2, not able to stop it. So she was probably in the security room.
Take that!
This is the only place where she could have been.
The security guard room.
Indeed, the security guard room in the underground parking lot is well positioned. It's built on the second floor so you can see the entire lot.
Yeah, right. See, there's the drums on the right side, where she said that she kicked over the drums. I'm not sure how she could see that. That makes sense. But yeah, she could see the whole phone thing from there. How did that photo show up?
She would have been able to see the emergency phone from there. But why there? There are many other places she could have seen the phone.
Not in this case, Your Honor. Witness not being part of the prosecutor's office? The witness not being part of the prosecutor's office couldn't park in the A block. I'm curious to see what the game says about it. The only place where she could have seen the crime and the back of the partition is here. Is it that high up, really? I remember in your testimony, you said you brought a lunch to your boyfriend in the security guard room, yes? Oh yeah. Okay. Wellness star? How many years have I been getting the better of men? I think that the tables could be turned. Today, a man got the better of Angel Star. I'm admitting to like lying profusely. In court. Perjury, am I right? Perjury is all the rage on the TikTok these days. Whatever. That's what the kids do, right?
Order, witness. What have you done? You used to be a detective. You should know better.
I am not turning back. The guilty will be punished, and I do what I must to make sure justice prevails. The guilty? Is she talking about Miss Sky? Mr. Wright, does this strike you as odd? Why did Miss Star lie? It doesn't make sense. What? She could have just said she saw the crime from the guard station. It wouldn't change anything.
Exactly. This photograph tells all. This photograph. Look at this photograph. I keep doing that, I'm sorry. It was the defendant who stabbed the victim. The truth still stands.
Objection!
Objection. The truth does not stand, Mr. Edgeworth. Oh, sorry. I mean, it still stands. I disagree, Mr. Edgeworth.
What?
If a witness is found to be lying, they're guilty of perjury. She knows this. She wouldn't risk that without good reason. That's great. He actually brought up perjury after, the whole perjury is all the rage random thing that I said.
So, tell us what her reason was, Mr. Wright.
Huh? Me?
And who else?
Mr. Wright, let's review what we know. Miss Starr witnessed the crime from the security guard station. She lied and said it was from B-Block. It was bound to come up though. I want to agree with you so much, but Ace Attorney randomly will just throw the rules out the window sometime, just to be Ace Attorney, I guess. It must make a vital difference, but what would it change? It would change the angle of view of the crime. That's true. Difference in lighting, probably, but that hasn't come up. Distance to the crime. She said 30 feet. Since we haven't talked about angle of view or difference in lighting, I think distance to the crime is the most relevant thing. Sometimes I feel like they give you too many valid answers, or like, I don't know. I think distance to the crime is right though. I'll save just in case. Since they specifically said 30 feet earlier. It changes the distance between her and the scene of the crime.
Objection! My condolences, Mr. Wright, but one look at the floor plan and it's quite clear. The distance between the scene of the crime and the guard station is 30 feet. I don't see how that would change what she could see.
Objection!
What she saw is not in question here. What matters is the time it would take her to reach the scene of the crime. Miss Starr, you witnessed the crime from the security guard station. Now, how long did it take you to go from there to the scene of the crime where you arrested Miss Sky?
Well, witness.
Yeah. Yes? You ordered the squid meals, right? The quality of my lunches has gone from low to inedible. I was bringing in a PB&J lunch with my fresh boysenberry jam for my boyfriend.
Boysenberry for the boyfriend.
It wasn't in the station, so I waited. I witnessed the crime from the glass-walled station. Ah, there's more of the floor plan. Before I knew what I was doing, I found myself running towards the safe. But the door was locked, and I couldn't open it. But Detective Goodman got through there. That's why I had to go through the visitors parking and leave. That's cool.
That's quite a detour.
That probably took me at least 5 minutes to get to the scene of crime. What? It took less time to just show you walking around the thing than 5 minutes. 30 seconds, come on.
5 minutes. That's kind of ridiculous. Honestly.
I'm a really slow walker. I'm actually surprised that I caught her at all.
This changes things.
But it was that woman over there in the defendant's chair who stabbed me. I know it. I have photographic evidence. I swear on my finest plastic spork from Toy Story 4, signed by the producers.
You have a point. And the spork is a wonderful invention.
Do you like another caviar lunch?
Absolutely.
Uh-oh. Mr. Wright, you have to do something. Do I have any evidence to stop this? It took 5 minutes to run around the thing. Her objection? Objection?
Objection!
5 minutes between the witnessing the murder and the arrest? Think about it. You can make pasta in that amount of time. If you like it al dente. I've got lunchboxes that tie pasta into knots for cake. A 5-minute blank. Isn't that strange?
Strange.
You were a criminal. What would you do with 5 minutes, Your Honor?
Well, I guess I'd flee the scene, maybe kill a few more people. Hey! Don't get the wrong idea. I didn't kill anyone.
But you have the instincts of a killer. You would run. Great. Tell the judge he's the instincts of a killer. Oh, Phoenix, you lovable dum-dum.
But this time was different. Miss Sky dawdled at the scene of the crime. She even had her picture taken. No true criminal would act this way. It's inconceivable! Yeah! I don't know how she has so many bentos.
Well then, it seems we've come to the end of this testimony. The witness has a grudge against the defendant and a blank in her testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, is the next witness ready to go?
Unfortunately, I appear to have overestimated this witness on account of her professional history.
We did it! We screwed that can shut, Mr. Wright. How do you screw a can shut? What? That was too close.
I'm afraid that the Coffle Queen has been dethroned. And with that, court is adjourned.
Mr. Edgeworth, you ordered those squid wheels, right? That wasn't when she tried to foist off on me.
I prefer not to take the defense team's leftovers. Anything else to say?
I might be able to save you. I have decisive evidence.
What was that?
Is this another one of her trick lunchboxes?
My apologies, but we have no further questions to ask of you, Miss Starr.
Is this your jumbo lunchbox?
Woo! Triple decker. What a day. Out of deference to the witness's determination, I'll allow one more testimony. Let's hear about this decisive evidence.
Like the Lunchland motto says, you won't be disappointed. What's she gonna pull out of her lunchbox this time? And by lunchbox, I mean butt. Should have mentioned those 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the crime scene. But I didn't think it was a big deal. And now, to the matter of the victim's shoe. Did I not bring this up? Two types of blood were found on the shoe. One was, of course, the victim's, and the other blood type matched that of the defendant, Miss Lana Scott. This shoe proves it. It's flawless, decisive evidence.
Seems like you should have brought this up before. Was there blood found on that shoe? There was blood found on that shoe.
The prosecutors would have known about it because they would have had the blood sampled. Try at Lunchland for all your lunch and decisive evidence needs.
Witness, what's the meaning of this? Why is this the first time I've heard of this evidence?
Simple. As I've already said, I don't trust you with evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. So it's not even like tested, she's just claiming this? And we're just gonna go with this, huh? You're just gonna go with it? Alright. That's why I took the liberty of investigating this myself.
And you had blood tests performed.
Didn't I mention I have 3 boyfriends in forensics?
In any case, Your Honor, I can't accept this evidence.
What?
You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. Rule number 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. In other words, this shoe is illegal evidence, at least for the time being.
Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. Edward sure is celebrating. Not so fast, Mr. Edward. Don't forget, I used to be a detective. As I mentioned previously, the shoe has already been tested by a member of the forensics department. As you can see, it was approved by the police department as of today. Even the general public can produce official evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. Edgeworth is looking pretty insolent. I like how he changed it. You could at least study some evidence law, really.
The prosecution's complaints notwithstanding, it appears this evidence satisfies the first rule of evidence law. However, it seems you have yet another count against you, witness.
Needing to ensure that guilty are properly judged. A white enamel shoe bears traces of blood from Goodman and Lana Sky.
Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness.
Decisive evidence. Can't believe we're still talking to this lady.
There are some testimonies in this series that go on so long. There's one, I think it's in the third game. There's this old man who like is in a park or something. He's like, I saw stuff, I swear, and he just like wants to talk, and that's like his whole thing. He's like Edna. He just wants to take your time and have somebody listen to him. And it's like, he gets so sick of that guy because his testimony lasts for so long. There's so many like revisions and stuff. Yeah, this is a long. Look for contradictions. I mentioned it was 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at this crime scene, and now I'm out of victim's shoot. And that brings up 2 types of blood. The other blood type matched the defendant on the skies. This proves it. Flawless, decisive. Why did you lie about those 5 minutes? I guess you could say I just wanted people to look at the results. The results? How many times do I have to say this? I saw the chief prosecutor stab the victim before my very own eyes. Compared to that, a 5-minute blank means nothing.
Then why didn't you just tell the truth?
Don't make me laugh. We are dealing with the most untrustworthy of the vile lot known. We're dealing with the most untrustworthy of the vile lot known as prosecutors. Ooh, she's saying Edgeworth is like the least trustworthy. Falsified evidence, arranged testimonies, erasing and manipulating evidence. When you fight monsters, you need to use every trick in the book. This when the suspect is admitting she did it?
But false testimony is the most despicable crime of all, Miss Starr. Let's get this over with.
The victim's shoe, did I not bring this up? And you found this shoe at the scene of the crime? I detained the chief prosecutor and I notified the police department. I wanted to make myself useful while I was waiting for the police to arrive.
So, like an ill-trained pooch, you snuck off with a shoe.
I was afraid someone would erase the chief prosecutor's crime. This shoe was my secret weapon, if that should happen. See this fashionable basket I have here? It carries more than the lunchboxes, gentlemen. I'm happy for you and your lunchbox bag, really.
In any case, you removed valuable evidence from the scene of the crime. Now tell us what you did next.
Tampering with the evidence. Say that's a crimerino. You are going to jail.
This Sunday, you are going to jail!
2 types of blood are found in the shoe. So you brought it to the forensics department? If you're going to submit something as evidence, you need in court, you need it approved. To do that, evidence must be analyzed by a forensics expert. And she got away with it, her little coot, because she used to be a detective.
The shoe does appear to have bloodstains on it.
Well, that man was stabbed after all. Even though this looks like Taco Bell sauce, that's not what it is. It's not Taco Bell. And the blood belonged to the victim, Detective Goodman? As I said, there were 2 types of blood found in the shoe. And the other blood type matched the defendant. Oh, I'm glad you're enjoying yourself. You can't say for sure that the blood belonged to the defendant with a blood test. You claim to know something about blood tests, rookie? Oh, speak out. Well, blood comes in 4 types: A, B, O, and AB. However, you can't tell from a blood test whether a murder was committed in cold blood.
That's just a figure of speech, Mr. Wright.
Actually, we can differentiate between millions of types with all the blood tests out there, which means that we can more or less narrow any sample of blood down to just one person. Or so I hear. That's pretty specific. If I had a little more time, I would have gotten DNA test results, but they said there's very little doubt that this could be anyone but Miss Lena Skies, so what's the point, you know?
So the suspect's blood was found on the victim's shoe. That ties her directly to the death of Detective Goodman.
I was afraid he was going to say that. The shoe proves it as flawless, decisive evidence. I can't let this evidence go through without a fight. You ordered the peppered fish guts, right? Some like it hot, Mr. Wright. Some like it clam. She's in enough hot water to make a whole vat of soup. Mr. Wright, do you or don't you have a problem with this shoe? Problem? This is critical. Is there a problem with the victim's shoe? But the victim, yeah, how is the victim living? Then that would mean Lana would have a wound on her, right? Right, yeah. Well, because we didn't see... Alright. I'm not imagining things. I'd say there's one critical problem with this evidence. A clear contradiction. That gleam in your eyes? You're still young, Ricky. I'd give you a peppered fish gut now, but you couldn't take the hate, could you?
Let's hear what Mr. Wright has to say. What is contradictory about the victim's shoe? Show us the problem with this evidence.
Oh, I'm literally looking at the shoe right now, huh? It's not her shoe size! It's somebody else's shoe. It's Detective Goodman's shoe! It's Boo-Man's shoe. It's... I don't... Blood on the bottom? Right? It's the blood on the bottom of the because there's no blood on the ground at the scene of the crime. Right? There's no blood on the ground at the scene of the crime. A blood splatter on the shoe means there's like a pool of it on the ground.
But there is none.
How does that work? Dun dun dun. I don't... I wonder if you noticed, there's blood on the bottom of this shoe. Don't mess with me with it. Or it'll be blood on the bottom of my shoe.
Indeed, there is quite a bit of blood on the bottom of this shoe.
It makes sense. The victim was stabbed with a knife. What could possibly be contradictory about blood on the bottom of the shoe?
There's no blood in the crime scene, sir. So, yeah. Saying, it's gotta be it. No blood in the photo. I mentioned this earlier. The problem lies in the footprint. The footprint? Like, what? Note that the bottom of the shoe is covered in blood. Then isn't it strange? Why weren't there any bloody footprints found by the scene of the crime? Oh, that's one way to look at it too.
Ah!
And as you can see, there were no traces of any such footprints at the scene of the crime. And literally no blood on the ground at all, whatsoever. And also, there's only one barrel there? That contradicts your claim about the shoe!
This picture only shows part of the floor, so there could have been bloody footprints.
Then where are they, Mr. Edgeworth? Because we checked the scene and we found nothing of the sort. You guys clean up all the blood and not take any pictures.
Order! 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 Where's my bento? The witness.
What? Great going, Mr. Wright, but is it true that I have a footprint is a contradiction? But then we have to ask why there wasn't a footprint. Oh!
That's true. There has to be a reason why there wasn't a footprint.
Think, Mr. Wright, think. Hey, I don't know why it's not there. I'm just good at finding contradictions. Right?
I see. Now I get it.
Get what?
My witness is more devious than I gave her credit for. We were hoodwinked to the very end. But she slipped. There's one vital hint to the truth in her testimony.
And what are you talking about?
Think back to when she told us about apprehending the suspect.
Chief Prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain.
She knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum. Oh, snap, son. She was like, oh yeah, she was trying to use the phone, and I ran over there and I grabbed her. The phone was not next to the barrels that she supposedly knocked over. Oh. Yeah. Oh, she's beautiful but deadly. A predator of the sun, a leopard woman, Rower. I kind of said it like that, remember?
No, you said it a bit different last time. But anyway, not that it is a strange thing for a normally cool-headed chief to do.
No kidding.
Now, witness, allow me to ask a very simple question. This oil drum, was it empty?
Ah, that, huh. I'm not sure I like your attitude, Miss Edgeworth. Though apparently you're not the slowest conveyor belt in the lunchbox factory.
Well, what is the oil drum empty?
The oil drum kicked over by the chief prosecutor was brimming with water. There is no way you could kick one of those things over. Those barrels are like 80 gallons, and a gallon of water is like 8 pounds. Right? Is that right? How big is a oil drum? How many gallons in an oil drum? Sorry, 55-gallon drums. I actually knew that. I don't know why I screwed that up so bad. 55 times 8. So, 440? Is that right? 440 pounds? Just kicked it over. Just a little kick. Just a little teeny kick. Water? What does that mean?
No, I still don't get it. Mr. Wright, do you know the reason she knocked it over? The real reason?
Yes. To wash away blood? Probably. Actually, JK, I remember that from the first time I played this. That's what the reason yeah, anyway.
You don't mean. Yes, the suspect knocked over that oil drum for one reason and one reason alone. To erase the bloodstains that would have become evidence against her. That ties things up quite nicely. The bloodstain left on the victim's shoe ties quite nicely, quite clearly with the murder. Although there are no strings to tie the shoe, so the pun does not work. Then, after the deed was done, she knocked over the oil drum to erase the telltale sign.
That's a prosecutor's specialty, erasing evidence. That reminds me, this guy's right hand was hurt. I forgot. It's easy to be a little tight tap. That's when my sister's blood got on the shoe?
Well, I see no reason to prolong this trial.
Oh, sorry. I don't mean to like trick you and stuff. Sometimes I interject with some random commentary in the character voices. I guess if you don't hear the chirping of the text going by when I do that, that's probably why. Anyway. Mr. Wright, do something, please. What? What can I do? Your sister confessed to the crime and she tried to conceal it. But...
Enough. There is no need for further debate. Verdict, Your Honor. Very well.
But Angel Star is on the prosecution side. She could have been lying about the water.
The court finds the defendant, Miss Lana Sky.
Hold it! Little girl, what did you just say? Huh? Me? Did you just say that I, Angel Star, was on the prosecution side? Well, yeah, you are.
You're saying my sister hid evidence by erasing the bloody footprints. Well. Oh, her necklace is one of those little octopus things. The hot dog that I cut to look like an octopus. I probably remember that last time, but I just re-noticed that. My computer keeps dinging at me and saying I don't have storage space for some reason. I thought you'd had your fill, but here you are demanding a second helping. Another lunchbox. A lunchbox called evidence.
Wait, witness, don't tell me you have something else.
Objection!
The time for deliberations is past. Any further comments, and you will be held in contempt of court.
You're that still scare the cuff-up queen. Look at this photograph.
A photograph.
Just in case anyone had the gall to suggest that the white shoes didn't belong to the victim. Like, seriously.
I see no room for error in this evidence.
Mr. Wright, wait, look at the asphalt in the photo. Hey, it's clearly wet.
Erasing the last trace of doubt from the court's mind. Immediately after the murder, the crime scene was washed with water.
I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I guess I couldn't help after all. It's not your fault. I knew I couldn't win this case from the beginning. And it seems this is what your sister wanted anyway. I'm sorry, Mia.
Right.
I need to have some sort of ghost voice.
Right. Let her know. Don't be so quick to throw in the towel. Yourself up off the asphalt. Take another look. Won't give up. Not till the bitter end.
What was her voice again? What was Mia's voice? Was that Mia like a butthead or something? I think she was a butthead, but I don't remember. It was something like that, where she had like a low voice, and I don't remember though. It's been a while. I have to look back at the footage. This is the last piece of evidence.
Very well. This time I'd like to declare a verdict for good.
Objection! Objection!
Your Honor, wait.
What is it with you people? Can't I hand down my verdict in peace anymore? Whatever it is, can it wait?
No, it can't. Then it'll be too late. Look at this photograph. The last one submitted. This trial isn't over until we give each piece of evidence proper consideration.
So, right. Were you saying there's a problem with this latest piece of evidence?
Yeah, I'll think later. Yeah, there's a problem. Right or wrong, I gotta go ahead with this.
I suppose we've come this far. We should give every claim a fair shake. Very well, Mr. Wright. Show the court the problem with this photograph.
The question is, do you know what the problem is? I do, because I've done this before. And I actually remember little bits and pieces of this case, and this is one of the little things that I do remember, other than the blood being washed away and her being in the security booth. I kind of ish remembered a little bit. I remember this though. Look at this photograph. Who's that says that? Nickelback. The muffler. This shows. You're right about the muffler. Right there. The muffler of the car. The problem in this photograph is here.
What's this? There's something poking out of the car's muffler.
Just wait a moment. Just wait a moment. Just wait a moment. Just wait a moment, sir, Mr. Edgeworth.
Your Honor.
You just said muffler. However, I see no trace of a muffler or a scarf or anything of that kind in the photograph.
The muffler is also a part of a car or motorcycle, Your Honor. Just think of it as the part of the exhaust system, a pipe.
I see. What's that suspicious-looking cloth sticking out of the car's muffler?
So what if there's something sticking out of the muffler? What does that have to do with this case? Nothing? Like, absolutely nothing.
Objection!
Sorry, Miss Star. It's not going to be that easy. In fact, you've already told us why this is important to the case. You said as much in your testimony. What?
Let's hear what Mr. Wright has on his mind. Tell us why you think this piece of cloth in the muffler is related to this case.
Oh, there it is. The word muffler was overheard in the call.
Take that!
Forgot that description on there completely. Miss Star! Recall your testimony for the court. Ah, yes. When I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler, and that's what confused me in my earlier testimony, because the muffler is red, and I thought blood and mufflers were the same thing or something. Muffler? Arg. Yarg. I don't know how to scream in Valley Girl, so just yarg. Could it be that the muffler you heard mentioned was actually this exhaust pipe? If so, that means this piece of cloth is vital evidence. Oh, whoa! No.
Well, seems we'll have to suspend the proceedings.
Suspend.
I find myself wondering about that piece of cloth. If we leave any question unanswered here, we do a disservice to the law. Have the car at the crime scene inspected at once and bring me that cloth. The verdict will wait until after we've seen all the evidence. Agreed.
I suppose so.
Woo! That was close. Like, we need it. At least for now.
This court will adjourn for a 30-minute recess. It's lunchtime after all.
He's still hungry? To be continued. That was 2 hours of talking to that lady. My throat. My soul. Two hours of talking to that lady and they're like, we're not even done. One hour and 57 minutes. Well, I guess I spent like 7 minutes with my nachos and making my nachos and then like slowed the game down to eat my nachos. And I want more nachos. They were so good. I want more. my poor throat.
So, boy. I don't remember how long this part is. I do remember that this is a pretty long case. This was DLC. And if I remember, so usually the way it goes in Ace Attorney is the first case is like a tutorial. The second and third case are usually kind of like a medium length trial, and then the last case is super long. This is after the fourth case. This is DLC. It's canon, this stuff happens. These are characters that some of them show up again later and stuff. Yeah, the whole trial. But it actually is part of... I say it's DLC, that's not exactly right, I don't think. I believe you could download it, but I think also future versions of the game just came with it. Remember that this is the first game, and I'm not sure that they knew that they were going to, like, make so many games in this series, I guess. In Japan, I think this came out on the Game Boy Advance, and then it came out at a weird time, so it came out on the DS here. And I think here, it might not have been DLC, and it was just included in the first game, but in Japan it was DLC. How is it DLC if it's part of the story? It's part of the main thing. I don't think this is the most important case to the thing, but it just introduces some characters that would just randomly pop up if you didn't play this. Anyway. Oh, right. The point of me bringing that up is that this is kind of like the final case, even though it isn't. So the final case was the one with Von Karma. You can tell it's like a big game-ending case. There's like the framing of Edgeworth, and then there's like the bullet thing, and you scan his chest with like the metal detector and all that stuff. It's all great. It's good stuff. And then this is like, it's basically another end case. So it takes forever. That's all I'm trying to say. There's a lot of content in this one. And I think we're maybe like half-ish way through it, because his cases always last 3 days. And this is like the beginning of day 2, I think? And it's like, we're not even done with it yet. So, my voice is kind of hurting. I'm going to try to finish this up so we get to the part where we go and investigate. And then that's where I'll stop. But yeah, we're probably like halfway through this case or something. There's a lot. There's a lot. I know there's a lot to this case. I remember you asked me, have we even met the murderer yet? And I'm like, I can't even remember. Because I know who it is, but I'm like, did we meet? I don't even know. I can't remember. I can't remember the beginning of this case well enough. Anyway. Mr. Wright? So, wow. Mr. Wright? Huh? What? Are trials always like this with you? Like you're swimming up from the bottom of a lake, about to reach the surface. And no matter how hard you paddle, you never seem to get there. Pretty much. So today we're swimming in quicksand. So what happened to your sister anyway? Apparently she got called off to the judge's chambers. Probably something to do with that piece of cloth. So, this is where we turn the trial around, right? Only weapon, a tiny insignificant piece of cloth. Sure, we can watch stuff after. I'm the only one who's starting to feel tiny and insignificant, to show the truth. Oh, sorry. I'm the one who's starting to feel tiny and insignificant. Not the only one. Whoa, partner. They say you show a red cloth to a bull and it'll fire up its temper. That's what they told me when I was a youngin' at least. Officer Marshall! I thought I'd come take a look, see how the trial's going. Looks like I'm late. This guy's got... I love this guy's music. And his whole, like, motif. Because he's like a sheriff, but he's like a... I don't know, it's something that's great about this guy. We got the home ranch locked down tighter than a fort in enemy territory. That hard to slip out, huh? Oh, wow, it's Phoenix. That hard to slip out, huh? Well, what's going on over there anyway?
All the police I've seen these last 2 days have really been on edge.
Don't get enough. Don't you got enough on your plate without worrying about other people, compadre?
Yeah, his name is Marshall. I love it.
You'll be worrying about the chief prosecutor's tasting mufflers, for example.
Officer Marshall? The whole muffler thing didn't have anything to do with scarves. She wasn't even wearing a scarf.
You don't say. Now, don't that just beat all? I seen the red breeze blow down her slender neck many a time. I saw it that day too. Saw it that day too. Oh, sorry, I reread it. She was wearing a red muffler.
What?
After the award ceremony that afternoon, Edward's seen it too, I reckon.
What does that mean? In the photograph taken of the crime scene, she wasn't wearing a scarf. So, Miss Star wasn't mistaken.
Well, it's about time. Remember, partner, sometimes you can grab the bull by its horns. Sometimes you just gotta let that bull go where it will. Time will tell.
I have a bad feeling about this. So, what are we swimming in now, Mr. Wright?
If it's steak sauce, I can hook you up with some fine ribs. Ooh,
February 23rd, 12:32 p.m. District Courtroom number 9.
I'd like to presume.
What's up? The judge keeps looking over at the prosecution.
There's something wrong, Mr. Edgeworth. Your face is blue, your lips are purple, you're sweating bullets. That furrowed brow, those grinding teeth, those watery eyes. What's more, your eyes are unfocused, you're doubled over, your back is bent. It can't be! This can't happen!
I wonder what happened to Mr. Edgeworth. Well then.
Oh, sorry, wow. That was Phoenix's voice coming out of the judge. That, like, threw me off. I was like, nah, the judge doesn't sound like that, but it was coming out of my own voice.
Well then, I believe it is time we continue on with this trial. During our recess, I had requested that the prosecution conduct an investigation. This is unacceptable! It seems our prosecutor is quite beside himself.
Excuse me, knock knock.
Gumshoe? Who's there?
Oh, nope.
Hey, what's with this guy? This James Stuffy aura seems to be filling the courtroom. Hey, the temperature rose 5.7 degrees when that man came in. Who on earth is he?
Ah, it's you.
Go stand there and stare, huh? Oh! Sorry I'm late, Udgy. The roads were packed. It's just me. Long time no see, eh, Udgy? How ya been? Swim much these days?
Hello. No way you've been so busy.
Busy smissy, Udgy. My boy, you have to make time to relax.
Yes, indeed.
Pudgy, that seems to be a nickname for the judge. I'm afraid you're right. Very afraid. Sorry, but who are you?
You're righto, the attorney. I've heard so many good things about you, son.
Thanks.
So sorry about our little Worthy giving you all that trouble, eh? Worthy instead of Edward. Worthy? You know, we should all go swimming together sometime, jolly.
Little Worthy?
Mr. Wright, you don't know the district chief of police.
chief of police?
He's the top-ranking police officer in the entire district. Name's Damon Gant. Name's Gant. Damon Gant. Pleased to meet you, everyone. So, what do we owe this honor today? It's been over 2 years since you came to this courtroom, hasn't it? Well, it's worthy here. Look at the poor fellow. I just thought I'd help out by bringing this.
It'd be funny if the judge's name was Judge. You never find out his name. He's like, let me give you your signature in one of the games. I think it might be the Edgeworth game. I don't remember what. Signature approval. And you're like, I can't read it. Like if you click on it, it's like I can't read what he wrote.
Hey! That's my sister's muffler. So Miss Star wasn't just seeing things. When the crime occurred, Miss Sky really was wearing that muffler.
But to think that it was stuffed into that exhaust pipe. Oh, little Worthy's car, no less. It's quite embarrassing, even for us. Oh, what's this? It's what you'd call a switchblade knife, and quite perplexing, this. Chief, what kind of outfit are you running? Mr. Edgeworth. How could they miss such a vital piece of evidence? A red cloth partially sticking out of my car's tailpipe. If your investigators are this lax, how do you expect us to do our job? Now wait a minute, Worthy. I've no desire to hear your excuses. I'm telling you, wait. Or didn't you hear me? Have a look at this document where it says a person in charge of investigation. There's no mistaking that signature, is there? Miles Edgeworth? That's not fair. On the day of the crime, I had your head in the clouds because you got that award. I know how you feel. But you're the person in charge. I'll expect a written apology. What? Are you serious? Don't be too upset. We'll find a way to clean up this mess that you made.
This is the first time I've seen Mr. Edgeworth at a loss for words.
This kind of major blunder is unlike you, Mr. Edgeworth. This court accepts this new evidence. But I'd like to ask the defense a favor first.
Yes?
Just to be sure. I'd like to take a look at that blade of this knife.
Blade, Your Honor? Well, I don't see why not.
Could you open it up for me, I wonder?
Yes, I think all you have to do is push that switch and...
I'll cut my finger, Mr. Red. I wouldn't be able to pound my gavel anymore.
Yeah, but if I cut my finger, I wouldn't be able to point it at people anymore. Come on, just hurry up and open it.
The most random dispute ever. It's doing this for me, by the way. I'm not doing this. Could have just pressed left once, game. You didn't have to go all the way. Okay. Alright, so yeah, so let's push the switch. SL9. Oh, that's the note upside down right there. There it is. Bam. Remember how I tried to read that note upside down? And it says SL9? Yep, that's the one.
There's a small tag on this knife.
Seems to say SL9 too.
What does that mean?
Well, I've heard something similar. DL6 or the DL6 incident thing.
It's strange.
Huh? What is?
I'm not certain. I get the feeling I've seen this somewhere before. Letters like this, numbers that look a lot like this somehow.
Yeah, it's upside down in my inventory right now. I tell you what.
Ah, don't scare me like that. I'm the one who's scared. Look at this knife blade. The tip's broken off. And in the dark red stain, blood?
Oh, sorry, it was Phoenix. In the dark red stain, blood? Switchblade knife added to the court record.
This does not excuse the actions of the police department. I would like to hear an explanation from the chief of police himself.
Can you turn the game volume down a bit, please? I can't. I'm sorry. I know you asked me before. I can't. Like, I literally, it's at 1. If I go any lower, there's no volume. It was much louder when we first... The only thing I can try to do is talk louder. Gotta get all up in here.
I would like to hear an explanation from the chief of police himself.
I'm terribly sorry, but could I ask you to testify for us about the split between the prosecutors and the police and this knife? Sure thing. Not a problem, not even a little one, really.
Apartment in disorder.
This knife is special, but I can't say how here. Unless there's evidence to prove a connection between this knife and Gutman. That was a bad day for the police department. We weren't in any shape to do an investigation. A detective was killed at the police department, see? What a mess. The time of the crime? 5:15. Scary coincidence, eh? It's not officially linked to this case here.
To this here case, sorry.
So I can't talk much about it.
But
there was a murder at the police department. A detective. That's hush-hush information, Nudgy, and we haven't exactly announced it yet.
Objection!
Wait a second. You said 5:15? That's the exact time that Detective Goodman was killed at the prosecutor's office. Order.
So like I said, when I was like, we're only halfway done with this case, there's another murder.
Oh boy. Anyway, we were at the police department.
So wow. I'm reading it right in my brain. Let me just use brain. Could have had a V8. Should have had a V8. I don't know. A murder in the middle, or a murder. What? Yeah, another murder at the same time at the police department. Well, this one happened at the prosecutor's office.
Anyway, we at the police department were all aflustered, as you might well assume. We're in the middle of the top secret investigation, so don't tell anyone, okay?
We're in the middle of it.
No, I think we understand the police department's situation. Very well, Mr. Wright.
Two detectives killed at the same time in two different places. The chances of that are really slim, scientifically speaking, of course. I'd like to exercise my right to cross-examine the witness.
Very well, however. Keep your questions focused on the case at hand. This knife is special, but I can't say how here.
Okay, so I'll show you what I was talking about. You flip this over, and that says SL9. 221. Which is February 21st. Reference there. And is on the switchblade handle right there. I know that goes somewhere in here in his general testimony. I do not know where. I know that it goes here somewhere. We'll start pressing him and see what we get. Excuse me, special?
Hard to come by this particular knife anywhere else.
Might that special thing be this little tag?
Oh, sorry, Righto, but I can't say that now. Not that.
We've established that the knife in Goodman's chest was this knife. Now, why was there another knife at the scene of the crime?
That's quite a mystery. And like a mystery, it's wrapped in something in a muffler.
That was wrapped in the muffler, huh? Oh, somehow I didn't get that. Unless there's evidence to prove a connection between this knife and Goodman, which I think is that tag. So I'd present the little tag note, I think, on this. Because that shows, yeah. Let me press it. I'll press it. See what happens. This knife was found at the scene of the crime. I think that makes it connected to the case, don't you?
See, there's a lot of things that go on at the police department I can't explain. It's delicate, okay? Sorry, righto.
Maybe there's something about this knife that will give us a clue. Yeah, the game's trying to tell me. Let's examine that knife while we can, righto? Evidence that links this knife to Detective Goodman. I think perhaps the pieces are falling into place. I should try presenting the evidence. Yeah. So the game's pretty much telling me present the evidence on this thing. Alright, got it.
So how are things done at the department? A good day, or what?
Bad day for the police department. We weren't in any shape to do an investigation. Detective was killed. Scene of the crime, 5:15. There's a lot of interesting stuff that we could learn here. But to move it forward, I'm pretty sure I know what to do. Since my voice hurts, we're just gonna go for the move it forward. I believe it's this. Should do it. Wait a second.
At last, an honest-to-goodness objection.
This knife, it has something to do with the Detective Goodmans.
What do you mean? An honest-to-goodness, what do you mean from the Udgy? This is great.
Look at this tag. Sorry, guys, I keep doing this. Look at the tag on this knife. It reads SL92.
Then this is important. Why?
Over here, we also have a memo that was on the body of the victim. Yes, that's the plan. I want to get through this and go to the investigation parts. You know, where you walk around and you look at stuff? I just want to get through this day of court. Just that, please.
What's this? 6 minus 7s, 12, 2.
Your Honor, it's upside down.
Upside.
The printed name on this memo makes it look like it's right side up. The printed name? Oh, right, because he wrote it, the name's on there. You turn it around, and what do you get?
Aha!
Whoever wrote this note was holding the paper upside down.
SL9. That's the same thing that's written on this knife's tag. Order. Where's my bento? Oh, she's gone. Well, Chief.
Well. I guess the cat's out of the bag. You win, righto. I win? What game is this guy playing?
This knife was evidence in a case that was stolen from the department's evidence room.
Oh, so it added this to the thing. Okay, yeah, so I should press this then. So this knife was stolen?
Yes, but on the day of the murder. It was evidence, you say. Was it in fact a murder weapon? Oh, nice. Good show, little Worthy. It was a murder weapon as it happens. It was evidence from a case long since solved.
So this knife was stolen on the day of the murder. And it was found in the exhaust pipe of Edward's car. Hard to think there isn't a connection there.
That was a bad day, am I right? Oh,
Something happened at the police department too, huh?
You've got a good look in your eyes there, righto, my boy. Sharp, hungry. So something did happen, and why wasn't I informed? Why weren't you informed? Well, you didn't ask. No matter, I understand you were busy, what with Lana's case and all.
Well, what happened? What happened at the police department that day?
The detective was killed at the police department, and I went to press. Yeah.
On the same day the detective was killed in the prosecutor's parking lot, another detective was killed at the police department.
That's a fact. How surprising, isn't it, Dudgy? I'm at a loss for words. And the perpetrator, do you have a suspect? Well, there was a suspect. Just arrested him, in fact.
Just arrested? That was quick.
But there's still a lot of unanswered questions. Maybe you could help, Raito.
I suppose I could help if you helped me by giving you data in your case?
Oh, good one. This kid's sharp. Okay, here's the deal. I'll tell you one thing and one thing only.
Where the victim was found, how the victim was killed, when the victim died. Whoa. Huh. Boy, oh boy, that's a big question to ask Mr. Raito. The victim was probably killed by being stabbed. Was it the knife? The victim died at 5:15. We were told this. Where they were found is the one piece of evidence, or piece that he hasn't told us here. Let's ask him about that. So tell me, where was the victim found?
Well, I can't speak on where the corpse was found, but I can say the crime took place in the evidence room of the police department.
The evidence room? Wait a second, I've heard of that. The evidence room? Didn't he mention that in his testimony just now?
This knife was evidence in a case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room.
There's a connection between the two cases. You seem happy, Mr. Ray. Happy? Happy? We just got handed our ticket to go to town on this case. With the link between the two cases established, we finally have some leverage. Now we can get Gant to testify about the details.
It's not officially linked to this case, so I can't talk much about it.
Okay, that day we already talked to them about that. Police was killed, already talked about that. The scene, time of the crime, 5:15, scary coincidence. Yeah, okay, we haven't talked to him about this yet. 5:15? But that's when Detective Goodman was killed in the prosecutor's office.
What? Funny, isn't it? A murder at the prosecutor's office and a murder at our place at the very same time. What are the chances?
Coincidence? This is just my gut feeling, but I'd say there's a 0.001% chance of that happening. Chief Gant, please tell us more about the incident. Not officially linked to this case, but we already established that it was, right? Chief, the defense's position is simply this. The connection between these two cases has already been proven. Oh, so I had to press this. Sometimes you have to press it so that they'll, change their testimony. Most of the time you have to present evidence, but that's why just going through and pressing stuff over and over again is kind of important. Sometimes it'll change your testimony. Sometimes they'll give you a piece of evidence that you need to have before you can continue. Sometimes, I guess his testimony didn't change there, even though it should have. I don't know. Anyway.
You don't say. Well, out with it, Raito. What's your connection? Yes, out with it, Mr. Wright.
The connection is a place mentioned in the testimony we just heard. The knife found in the lot was stolen. From the police department's evidence room.
Not to mention the victim had on him the case number on the knife's evidence tag.
And we also know that the detective murdered at the police department was killed in that very same evidence room.
Indeed. There seems to be too many connections for it to be a coincidence.
Yeah, so all I had to do was press it. I didn't even have to do anything.
You two make a good pair. It took my men 2 days to find out what you deduced right here. Chief, I request that you release your information on the victim at the police department. See, that's the tricky part. It hasn't been announced yet and all.
Can we get the information unofficially?
Sure, why not? It's unofficial after all.
What, really? Who would have guessed?
I'll cooperate, but I can't reveal the name of the victim at the police department, okay?
Dude, the name! If you're gonna tell us a little, why not tell us everything, you know? Come on, man.
Well, you see, this case information is sticky stuff. You have to do everything properly.
Oh, well, I guess I might as well try to get what I can out of him. What's the victim's gender?
Division, ID number, gender. This ID number, because we already have, I think, 2 pieces of evidence with ID numbers on it. Goodman, and there's like a key card, is that right? So we probably want to know the ID. Yeah, his ID is on there. Oh, right. And then if you click on it, it also says his ID number. Yeah, okay, his ID number. Let's see that.
Okay, how about you tell me the victim's ID number?
Sure, why not? It's not like you'll be able to tell who it is from that.
Of course not. You won't tell me their name after all.
We keep a tight lid on ID numbers, so don't go getting your hopes up. The number is 42182. Well, that's quite long. And we have to remember these. It drives me nuts. 82. I can't do it.
You didn't even get the first numbers right.
Well, Mr. Wright, does this tell you anything?
The ID number of the victim at the police department, 45825. I can't even do this. Oh my goodness. This tells me something, because this is the same detective as Goodman's.
Yeah, it's Detective Goodman's. Yep.
Actually, it does, Your Honor. It does. It seriously does, I think, yeah.
Meaning?
It has to be what I think it is. But what does this mean?
Well, let's hear what the defense has to say. You say the ID number of the detective who was murdered at the police department tells you something. What does it tell you?
It tells me Detective Goodman! Something.
Take that!
Witness?
What is it, Mr. Wright? You're grinning like a schoolgirl on prom night.
No, it's just... I got confused.
And this is news.
Huh?
Just come out with it, both guns blazing, like you always do.
The police department, the prosecutor's office. 2 places, 2 detectives murdered, 1 at a time. Actually, I happen to have a police ID number here.
Oh, is it yours?
No, Your Honor, I'm a defense attorney, remember? This is the ID number of our victim, Detective Goodman.
Shame on you, Righto. Personnel IDs are top secret.
Detective Goodman's ID number is 5842189.
And this means what exactly?
Huh?
Wait, that ID number we heard from the chief earlier. That started with 82. I forgot it.
You didn't even get the first numbers right again. The number the chief of police gave us was 5842189.
Objection!
Wait a second, Wright. What does this
mean? That's what I want to know. The 2 ID numbers are identical. In other words, the detective killed in the police department evidence room was Bruce Goodman. And what does our witness think about that?
Wait, he didn't say he was a witness. He's testifying, he's not a witness. What? What do you mean witness? I thought you meant the lunch lady.
Oh, sharp as a tack, Righto. Sharp as a tack. Oh, wait, Detective Goodman is our victim. He's ours. You can't have him. He was killed at 5:15 in the underground parking lot.
Yet a Detective Bruce Goodman was also killed at the police department. Does he have an evil doppelganger? In the evidence room at the same exact time.
Sorry, he was like, but he was killed here and in the evidence room at the same time. The background goes all crazy.
That's impossible. So we're saying, what we're saying, the same person was killed at the same time? And in a completely different location? Order. I want some nachos.
Oh, it just went on without me.
No, what I want to know is why didn't I hear about this? This is top secret, fine, but I'm the prosecutor in charge of this case.
Now, just wait a second, Worthy. No need to get all flustered.
Your Honor, the police department has made a grave error in this case.
Wait. I said wait. Or didn't you hear me? The oversight, the grave error. Mr. Edgeworth, they're yours.
What? How? How dare...
We informed you yesterday. And I believe it was our officer Meekins who brought you the news. Everybody hates Meekins, but I love him for some reason, so... Oh boy. I hope you feel the same way about Meekins. Because he is like one of the least liked characters. Why am I freezing this stuff? Warning, high encoding. I need to figure out what that is. Maybe I need to restart my computer before I stream so my computer doesn't like freak out. Maybe my computer's hot? Oh yeah, it's really hot. That's probably what's going on. It's probably overheating a little bit. That's not good. I think we're pretty close to the end of this, so just power through real quick.
Now I believe it was our Officer Meekins who brought you the news. Officer Meekins?
Mr. Wright, where have you heard that name before?
We have? I don't remember. Why does everyone hate him? There's like a top 100 Ace Attorney characters, and he was like in last or something.
Where have we heard that name before? Wait, aha!
Oh yeah, this guy. Yep.
Excuse me, but this, Mr. Edgeworth, anywhere on the premises? I am here, sir, at the request of the chief, sir. I've got your report, sir. You don't mean him?
According to Meekins, you didn't accept the report. Hard to believe.
But your officer, he told me. He said your report had nothing to do with the Lana Sky incident.
Detective Bruce Goodman, murdered in the police department evidence room. Mr. Edgeworth, the victim's name is written right on the top of the report.
Why didn't your officer tell me?
Honestly, I'm not sure if the officer is capable of making the connection. He did seem challenged.
Oh, poor Meekins. He did it. Did I call it? Meekins? You're close. I'll say. I know. Anyway, it looks so dark. In any case, this is a serious error, a gross negligence of duty on your part, Worthy.
But sir, you could have submitted that report this morning to the court as evidence. Then I...
No such luck this time, Worthy, or should I say unworthy.
What?
Now, what was the second rule of evidence law?
Well, Mr. Wright? What? Oh, well, it's
Rule number 2. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. And how is this rule relevant? Normally submit a list of evidence to be used in the court before the trial. This report wasn't on that list. So, what does this mean? I couldn't submit this evidence until a connection was proven in court. This connection was just proven by Raito over there.
Can't do it? I thought maybe, but you said he was in another game, so... Did I say Gant was in another game? I don't think I did. I said some of the characters from this case show up in other games. Good job, Raito, my boy.
I was just doing my job.
No. No!
Oh, Gant did it. I like how you accuse literally everybody who shows up on screen. Mikan shows up, you're like, he did it. Gant, he did it. Lana, she did do it, didn't she? Anyway. Wait, did you say that about Lana or were you saying that at the lunch lady? I don't know. Anyway.
It seems we have come to the end of this trial. Now, I know you're going through a tough time, Woody, with all these rumors and all. You were even in the defendant's territory just this past December. I apologize for this terrible lack of due diligence on my part. Mr. Ed, please, just give me one more day, and I'll get to the bottom of what happened. If it's the last thing I do. You'd better get results this time, really. You have my profound apologies, sir.
Or Mr. Edgeworth.
I don't think there's ever been an error this serious in the history of this court. I will grant one further day as the prosecution has requested. Will that be sufficient, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. Whatever your punishment is for this, your sake, I hope it's not decisive. Very well. Court is adjourned.
Be continued. Continued. This is a good place to stop. My voice hurts, and it's time to do investigations again. Back at the old office. Mr. Wright, so... Alright, we'll stop it there. 2 hours and 40 minutes. Alright, it was fun. It was fun. My voice. My poor voice. There's so much more to this case to go. I don't know if it's this case, and I hope it's not. But I know there's like at least one case that goes into a day 4, even though you're not like supposed to, or whatever in their court system. Goodness, there's a lot. So we have a whole second murder kind of thing to investigate. Let's see how it's connected to our case. There's a lot to go. So, thanks for watching. We'll pick this up. I don't know, next week maybe? Maybe Friday? I don't know. Okay. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in a minute.